All right, today we're going on a journey. I mean, a real explorer's journey. We're heading out to meet the true Lord of the Rings, a voyage to one of the most beautiful, most mysterious, and let's be honest, downright weird worlds in our entire solar system, Saturn. Here on Earth, connecting with each other can be pretty simple. Think about it, sharing a meal. It's like this one common language we all speak, right? It connects us, helps us understand each other no matter where we're from. But what happens when you can't share a meal? When there's no common language? And when you're separated by, just about a billion miles of empty space? How in the world do you connect with a place that is so completely, so utterly alien to everything we know? Well, here's how you do it. You build a messenger. You create this incredible robotic ambassador, and you pack it full of all of our collective curiosity. And then you send it on a 7-year journey. A 7-year, nearly 3 billion mile journey across the solar system. And this isn't some sci-fi movie plot. No, this is the incredible, absolutely true story of the Cassini-Huygens mission. It was this monumental effort, this grand plan to finally connect our world with that ringed giant, Saturn. And what a mission it was. A huge international team-up. And it wasn't just one spacecraft. It was two working together. You had the Cassini orbiter, this big, amazing machine designed to study Saturn from above for years and years. And then, kind of piggybacking on it, was the Huygens probe, a gutsy little lander with a one-way ticket to Saturn's biggest moon, a mysterious place called Titan. So, after that incredibly long trip, our messenger finally made it. It was at its destination. And for us back on Earth, it was time to finally open our eyes and see Saturn up close, really see it for the very first time. I mean, can you just imagine seeing this view for the first time? There it is, the jewel of the solar system, just hanging there in the pitch black of space. Cassini had to fire its rockets, hit the brakes just right to get caught by Saturn's gravity. And that began an incredible 13-year dance with the planet and all of its moons. And right away, it became super clear just how alien this place really is. I mean, time itself is just different. A day on Saturn, it just zips by in less than 11 hours. But a single year, that takes almost 30 of our years. Just think about that for a second. If you were a little kid on Saturn, by the time you celebrated your first birthday, your friends back on Earth would be getting ready to retire. See, unlike Earth, Saturn doesn't really have a solid surface you can stand on. If you tried to land on it, you would just fall. You'd fall through this incredibly thick atmosphere, then into a giant ocean of liquid hydrogen, and then even deeper down into a layer where the hydrogen itself gets so squished it becomes a metal. Yeah, you heard that right. The pressure deep inside Saturn is just so immense, so totally crushing, that it literally transforms hydrogen, the most common stuff in the entire universe, into a liquid metal that can conduct electricity. We're talking about conditions so extreme, we can't even come close to creating them here on Earth. But okay, of course you can't talk about Saturn without talking about the rings, right? It's the main event. From way back here on Earth, they look so perfect, like these solid, graceful hoops. But what are they really like when you get right up close? Well, the truth is, they're not solid at all. Not even a little bit. It's more like a celestial blizzard, a kind of chaotic, orbiting traffic jam made up of countless individual pieces of ice and rock. And they're all just racing around the planet at mind-boggling speeds. And what are these particles? It's mostly water ice. Trillions and trillions of them. And they come in all sizes, from as small as a grain of sand to as big as a house. Seriously, just try to imagine flying a spaceship through a field of icy boulders. That's basically what you're looking at. And the scale here is it's hard to wrap your head around. If you stretch the main ring system from end to end, it would be over 170,000 miles wide. That's almost the entire distance from the Earth to our moon. And this is the craziest part, for all that incredible width, the rings are unbelievably thin. We're talking in some places only about 30 feet thick. That's it. It's like a sheet of paper the size of a city. It's one of the greatest and strangest wonders in our entire solar system, for sure. So you gotta wonder, what holds this incredibly delicate structure together? Well, the answer is gravity, but used in a really clever way.
There are these tiny little shepherd moons that orbit right inside the rings. And just like their name suggests, they act like cosmic sheepdogs, using their own gravity to herd all those little ice particles and keep the edges of the rings nice and sharp.
But Cassini's job wasn't just about Saturn itself. Nope. It was also about its biggest moon, Titan. A world completely hidden from view, wrapped up in this thick, orange, smoggy atmosphere. It was a total mystery. And it was time for the Huygens probe to go it alone. Okay, get this. On Christmas Day 2004, Huygens separated from Cassini. A few weeks later, on January 14th, it slammed into Titan's atmosphere. For 2.5 long hours, it parachuted down through those thick, smoggy clouds until it finally touched down on an alien world. It only had 90 minutes. For 90 precious minutes, it sent back everything it could see and feel, and then it went silent forever. And this is what it sent back. This is the actual view from the surface of Titan. It's the first and, so far, the only landing we've ever made on a world in the outer solar system. And what did we find? Not water, but rivers and lakes of liquid methane. The rocks you see, they're actually chunks of water ice, frozen so cold, like minus 290 degrees Fahrenheit, that they're literally harder than granite. So, after all of that, after the long journey, the orbiting, the landing, what did we actually learn? What's the legacy of this amazing robotic messenger we sent so far from home? Well, we learned that Saturn's rings aren't some static museum piece. They're an active, constantly changing system. We clocked winds on Saturn screaming past it over 1,100 miles an hour. We discovered that Titan, with its thick atmosphere and its liquid rivers, might just be a frozen, deep-freeze version of what a very young Earth looked like billions of years ago. And yeah, we pulled off the first ever landing in the outer solar system. In the end, we actually did it. We connected. You know, the Cassini-Huygens mission answered so many of our questions, but like all great exploration, it also created a ton of new ones. It showed us that our own solar system is so much more beautiful, way more complex, and honestly a whole lot stranger than we ever could have imagined. So really, there's only one question left to ask. It's the same question that drives every single explorer. Where do we go next?